rings and the stories begin. Welcome to the ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. It is us, the Wrestlemaniacs, coming to you. We minus one at the moment because, KG wanted to be on special assignment. He's out there making Hot Pockets personally to make sure that he can provide the masses in tax season with the best opportunity to do whatever the hell they're doing with a Hot Pocket for 2026. As always, I am the People's Choice, Don Rodriguez, joined by the Nubian Sumo. Sumo, what is up? It's been a while. Tell us what you're drinking. Tell us what you're smoking. Tell us what you're wearing. Lock it in for us as we approach March.
Well, what I'm drinking and what I'm smoking, pay me and I'll tell you.
Oh, man. Yeah.
As far as what I'm wearing, I felt like I needed to go to the dark side today. Had to bring out the fallen angel tonight. Because apparently we
But don't get there yet. Gosh.
Apparently yeah.
All right. See, some people
haters.
What do we got over here? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone on the mothership, I think it's about time. We haven't done it in 2026 yet to tell you a story. This story is brought to you by the one and only WWE Network, as always, and forever $9.99 a month. Make sure you go ahead and get your piece of nostalgia. If you can't find it, it's probably because it don't exist no more in the United States of America, but that's okay. We're keeping hope alive for the WWE Network. But I'm going to tell you a story. So last week, you got myself, the person that I am, calling the shots, leading the show, calling the show, if you will. You got the Nubian Sumo over there making some comments. BJ was in for a little bit. You got, a lot going on last week. A lot of comments. KG was there hanging out on camera. I mean, we were doing that thing. And then, there was some comments that was out there. We like the comments. We appreciate when you comment, when you talk to us from the Twitters, the YouTubes, the Facebooks. And then, we can find any more outlets. Trust me, there will be more to come. Then we'd like to hear from you as well. But somehow, in the ether, out of general, just common practice of understanding, the Nubian Sumo made a comment that shook the podcasting world for wrestling, if you will. All the man said was based off the name. I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl. Oh, Lord, that's it. That's the statement that launched 1,000 ships and 1,000 missiles at the Wrestlemaniacs, ladies and gentlemen, we are under fire. We are under fire for no reason at all.
That's why they call me. That's why they call me the hand that rocks the cradle. The straw that stirs the drink. I'm a pot stirrer up in this mug.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, he be stirring some stuff up. So I guess it's only apropos, because I'm not even going to look at the comments yet, because I'm quite sure they in it to win it. But I have to be honest. The Four Corners podcast that just wants to come for us, I'm going to be honest with you. You just made the list. I know y'all talk about the past couple days, and your rebuttals and your retorts, that you are, what did you say? The end all be all. And that's pretty exciting. That's a good tagline. Good tagline to be the end all be all. And of course, naturally, just for full clarity, we will look at the comments, but purposely we're not talking and checking them out now, because quite sure, you marking out and probably blown up a little bit. We'll teach it over.
Hold on.
No. I don't even want to look at it yet, because I just want to make sure.
What did you say their name was?
I'm quite sure they'll put it in the comments, because I want you to. Before we get there, I want you to do one thing. Just recognize that 613 Faye Productions, is Hollywood T, so it is not, of a different gender. That is, a gentleman that is leading his own podcast group that likes to talk about wrestling. That's coming for us. I'll let you go ahead. Just acknowledge that fact. We don't acknowledge too much unless it's our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. But go ahead and acknowledge that. Do that for us.
So we are positive that this is not a female.
That's what I just said.
I'm just making sure now, because I prefaced it the first time.
I know you prefaced it, but I'm confirming.
I prefaced it the first time, so I'm just trying to figure out.
Yes, we're clear, because you just seen the promos that were cut. So we're confirming it. So go ahead.
Okay.
And just make sure you affirm it.
So we are. So I will affirm that we are speaking to boys.
Oh, see, there you go. Why
so they call themselves the Four Corner Boys, right?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit more to the name and stuff like that. You really try to cause trouble.
I'm just going by what they want to be recognized as what they are, right? So they say they're the Four Corner Boys.
Oh, right? Boy. See, I can see it now. I can see it now. I'm not in control of the Nubian sumo.
I'm just going by what I'm. They even put it in the chat. They put it in the chat. They said, "We the Four Corner Boys," with a Z. Boys with a Z. So I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just going by what I see. I'm going by their words.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give that to you. Yes.
The four corner catch crew.
Yes.
Yeah,
they have done such a great job. See, I can't stop. BJ, you in the chats. It's not my fault. You the one that wrote the daggone contract for the Nubian sumo that gives him, the mouth that won't stop and the free range to be able to, just go off the rails. See,
what am I saying wrong though? See, I said it last week.
Rouser.
I said it last week that I wasn't sure. I said I gave my preface, and said I wasn't sure. I made a guess and it was wrong. Okay, I got corrected, and I stand on that correction. But then we get all this animus.
You gaslight, you know that, right? We talking full
We getting all this animus brought toward us, right? About this thing, just an innocent mistake that was made, and now I'm catching all this heat because I made a mistake.
Oh yeah, you the heel. You the heel.
I'm the heel.
You the heel and your own heater.
I feel like Dave Chappelle up in here right now. Am I going to get more heat from? Never mind. Let me stop.
Oh yeah, the daggone chats is on fire. I swear to goodness, I'm scared.
No, wait a minute, BJ. You can't write my bourbon out the contract now. My contract is ironclad.
See, now they're coming for you. I'm not even going to talk about it, but allegedly, Hollywood Mike T has said that hey, you old. Now I will tell you, yes, he was hanging out with Bruno Sammartino back in the day. I will tell you, but he was also because I'm fair. I'm fair because I can't let nobody talk about James without understanding that we put him to the fire on our own. He was also babysitting Bruno Sammartino and taught him everything he knew. So that's how we got.
Which also means what?
I'm assuming you know what you're talking about.
You gonna respect your elders up in this mug. Know your place.
Oh man. So unfortunately, KG's not here to go ahead and do his thing. But yeah, Sumo's old. So he has been around for a while. And he has seen a lot. He is a resident archaeologist, if you will.
In the world of podcast professional wrestling at our level at this point, I am the Undertaker.
No, now
you will respect me.
Okay.
Period. See, you got to the point. You got me to where I started pointing with my cigar. When I get to pointing with my cigar, then there's a problem up in here. It's about to be a misunderstanding.
Oh Lord, Crazy Joe.
It's about to be some furniture moving.
Can you calm it down, Crazy Joe? Now I know you've been working because he's a secret agent. In case you aren't aware,
no, they used to call me
agent for the government.
They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they call me Batman.
How about Table Man? It's a wrestling show. Who the hell uses a bat? Unless it's barbed wire Batman. At least make it relevant. God,
hey, Sting didn't use barbed wire on his bat.
Yeah, good point. You got that one. I'll give you that. That's the 1 in a million, but I'll give it to you. Oh man. So 2. Let me go. Hold on. See, they going off now. So you done lighted the fire. Undertaker. They're calling themselves Brock. Streak's going to be over. You see how that works out? Because you wanted to go ahead and poke the bear.
Hey, it's all good.
We didn't have the, the free hose dancing and stuff like that. We're trying to make it a good time. And you wanted to go ahead and poke the bear. All I was going to do was just cut a general promo, put them over a little bit, give them the rub and let it be what it's going to be. But in the week of people just coming out talking craziness and trying to figure out if Vince is guilty or innocent or crazy, not crazy, whatever. Now you want to go ahead and poke the bear and start a beef that probably is going to result in some Wrestlemania.
Whoa. I ain't started nothing.
You started it.
I did not start nothing.
You started it.
I didn't start anything.
You couldn't recognize the gender, and then you started it. It's your fault. Just saying.
Hey, I only know one Faye, and that's Jackson.
Yeah, I know. See, that's your problem right there. You got damn perv.
Yeah,
you can't have any other room for another.
I only know one Faye, and that's Jackson. So any other Faye, I'm thinking is never mind.
Now, for the record, if we're gonna go there, you might as well represent. So here's where he was thinking. Yeah,
exactly.
So
when I see Faye, that's what I'm thinking.
When he saw 613, he was trying to be the one in between the 6 and the 3. That's where he was. So just for clarity, just wanted to make sure y'all understand. That's where your boy was. He didn't mean it. He was trying to be in between it. That's a t-shirt, by the way.
And I said it up front. I said it up front.
Oh, hold on now. Hold on. Now, you press some hot buttons there. You're talking about body slam and sumo.
When he says body, that ain't what he meant. The children be using that term right there. He talking about something else.
Oh, is that one of them urban?
He talking about unaliving somebody.
God dang it!
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yo, man.
See where we taking it?
Do I need my thesaurus?
See where we taking it?
I need my thesaurus. I can't be hanging out with y'all. Y'all using all the. If somebody says the word cap in here, I'm hanging up. I'm telling you now. You know how long it took me to figure out what the heck this one dude from New York. He was going.
Nah, bro. I
no cap. No cap. No cap. I'm like, yeah,
God.
You ain't got no hat on. What the heck are you talking about?
I'm not a 69 God. I'm Captain Cunnilingus.
Oh, Jesus. So it's gonna be one of them shows tonight. Welcome. If you just came, pun intended, if you just came into the show, Nubian Sumo has, gone off the deep edge. Maybe it's the drink, maybe it's the smoke, maybe it's the t-shirt. Maybe it's just the fact that in his undercover life as a government agent, he just needs to vent some frustrations. It could be everything.
Middle-aged and crazy, that's what it is.
But he has turned everything towards the Four Corner Boys because they decide they wanted to come for us. They wanted to come for us and not an Olympic peace. They're coming for us individually. So
hey, can we leave the Four Corner Catch crew alone and deal with our show here?
I'm trying to get there.
Where's KG, damn it?
I just said, see, that's what I'm talking about. You see red. I need you to calm it down, bro. I told you he was at the Hot Pocket factory doing whatever they do at the Hot Pocket factory to make Hot Pockets. He may show up. Who knows? It depends on the flavor of the Hot Pocket he's currently working on. Post Valentine's Day, by the way. So now that we've settled the sumo, he's got everything out of system. I hope we'll move forward. He does need to leave off the Hot Pockets. I'm telling you right now, you don't understand. That's a tragedy right there. 7 days a week. That's dedication. But we are looking forward to having some crossover events in all seriousness, because one thing, we do appreciate about Nubian Sumo's newfound friends, the Four Corner Boys with a Z, is that they are fans, and that they definitely look at things in a different way. Obviously, we do our thing. So, as we lead up towards WrestleMania, we're definitely excited to partner with them to be able to cause some chaos on the social media circuit. There may be some more promos out there. We'll do some fun little excitement and jabs. And who knows, well, I don't know. I don't know if we could do another competition with you, Sumo. You see what happened to Midnight Rider. He ain't come down off his high horse since. But
I have yet to give my full opinion on that competition. Okay, because
you got to do it.
I can't say it without being demeaning. So I'm leaving it alone. I'm taking my L. Just leave me alone with it.
So you telling me that you got something that's bothering you?
Yeah,
that's sticking in your craw.
Yep.
And for the record, you telling me this.
I'm telling you this. Yes.
So I'm gonna bring that shit up again.
You go, of course you will.
All right. I just want to make sure that for the watching public, the next 12 months, I'm gonna have some fun with that one until he protects the house. But I do want to give a shout out. Just saw Matty Ice jumped in.
Mind your business, Faye.
Not
this in-house stuff. Keep out of this one. This in-house dealings.
Can I put over Matty Ice and Drive Time? I'm just saying they did a great job. They putting the work out there talking about, one of my favorite sports, NASCAR. Covered the Olympics for us for the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. So shout out to Matty and the crew. Always good to see friends to the show and part of the network family jump in. But interesting question. And since we got, the Four Corner Boys on the podcast in the chat, open it up to y'all as well. Now, back in my day, I will tell you, NASCAR, in the inner cities of Baltimore was not a thing to watch. It was a thing to wear. We talking, was it 92, 93, 94, and the touch of 95, man, you saw a Jeff Gordon jacket, just about everybody, Kyle Petty, people just wearing it as fashion. Mine, obviously, is the greatest of all time, the Intimidator. Number 3, Mr. Goodrich himself, Dale Sr. But if you had to put, and this is removing everything WCW because they already did it, but out of the current roster, if you had a NASCAR team and you had to wrap a car, Sumo, who would you put on your car? I'll give you 3 people.
Give me 3 people to put on a car wrap for NASCAR.
Yeah, who would you wrap your
for
NASCAR?
For WWE?
Well, yeah, we'll keep it WWE just for the moment. Just for the star power, make it easy.
Well, automatic you put Cody.
Really?
Especially when you get to the Atlanta races. Atlanta, Talladega, down those
true.
Down
I
south
agree with
races. Let's see. Get out west. Once you hit California and Nevada and all in Vegas and whatnot, I'd probably put on somebody like maybe LA Knight.
Really?
Or Jey Uso.
Okay. You know, my little Uso fan is happy that you said that.
And then if you go up north.
You ain't on the show. See what you did? Just can't talk about Jey.
I throw him a ball.
Pay him his $5.
You got his $5. Stop trying to put that $5 on me. I gave you that money.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's all on you, Ricky Bobby.
Over here cheating the kids.
I ain't cheating the kids. You cheating your own kids. That's embezzlement type shit.
Hey, they don't know that. They can't even spell that right now.
That's all right. I bet you can spell it and know what it is too. And can probably get him. And can probably get him a lawyer on your ass.
You probably could. I wouldn't put it. You know, in the world of social media. Well, actually, it'd probably be, hey Google, pull me up a lawyer that can cover all that stuff. Give me one more. Jay Fats has given us Roman Reigns, LA Knight, which that's an agreement there. So see, y'all got something in common. Just wanted to put it out there. Chelsea Green.
If I go up north to the northern races like New York and up that way, because they got the races up that way. Who would be good for that? Probably put Rhea.
You think?
Yeah.
An Aussie?
Rhea
no,
Ripley,
no disrespect to Australia, but really?
Rhea Ripley on a NASCAR?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool. I mean, Damian Priest, as you see here from Jay Fats on a monster truck, that'd be pretty sick.
Damian Priest on a monster truck. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But we talking about NASCAR.
Hold on. We'll make sure. Put them over. See, Four Corner Boys. We're trying to play nice. Now that Sumo's, you ain't got to look at it. You can see. God dang. Take 2 more puffs. Now, I think, and I'm surprised you didn't say it. What about Dom? That'd be an awesome car. CM Punk. And got daggone Obafemi.
No.
just so that way whoever's driving it, and I hope it would be somebody like Joey Logano to come in and do the bop just for you before sliding into the car. The
only way Obafemi gets on a NASCAR is if Lewis Hamilton is driving it.
See, I mean, we do this. Yeah. Bronson Reed would be cool. I think Bronson Reed would be a good monster truck. That way you can make a whole gimmick out of that before you crush the school bus. Everybody else tsunami. That'd be pretty dope. How come Earthquake and Typhoon never got a daggone monster truck? If anybody should have got a monster truck just by the name alone, the natural disasters out there, coming to, well, for me to have been to Baltimore Arena, it'd been awesome. I'd have paid for that. But, just a side thought. I appreciate y'all entertaining me and with just, some out of the box thinking. But going back to it, like I said, Four Corner Boards, we appreciate you. We look forward to doing some stuff. Keep an eye on the socials, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the YouTubes for, there'll be some more fun coming between the two groups. And then, we'll be able to come together and really, put a meeting of the minds. But I want to change the tide to something that's a little interesting, Sumo, and I'm hoping that you had a chance to at least take a look at the video that I had sent you. Recently this week, Janelle Grant has, we'll call it, resurfaced to do her first interview. And I've seen a lot of posts that are kind of divided again. Some are looking at it like, okay, well, she listed out all the things and the gifts that she got over, the years, and I'm looking at it like, that's what you got. It wasn't anything spectacular. So those folks were like, okay, well, she accepted gifts. We talking like flowers every other week and things like that. And Lord knows, just to put the PSA out there, we're not trying to trivialize anybody's experience. Watch out for trigger warning, stuff like that. We'll be cautious of the terminology. But we're just speaking on the news there that, you have the one group that is all about now saying, hey, bring Vince back. And, he's didn't do anything wrong. They're pulling up, believe it or not, Odyssey Jones saying, hey, Odyssey didn't do anything wrong. He was, public opinion, guilty until proven innocent type of situation. Velveteen Dream, also guilty until proven innocent. But, obviously they're kind of quote unquote blackballed at the moment. But then you also have folks that are still, going with that, Me Too movement of, hey, this was a situation that happened that needs to be addressed. So what's your thoughts on that? Did you get a chance to see the presser?
Yeah, I did get a chance to see it.
Be careful. I know it's a slippery slope on a conversation piece.
Yeah, I know. And I really don't want to speak on it too much because, there's still so much going on and so much that needs to come out about it. And I mean, it is what it is for right now. I mean, there's not really too much you can say about it right now. She's still under. So she's not under the NDA now, right?
It's like I'd call it 60-40 because she's not freely just going out there naming names and doing all these things. So I think that I don't know if she's just not doing that because she doesn't want to put anybody at risk, because from what's been coming out, she didn't initiate anything.
No,
she was collateral damage in essence of the New York Times just wanting to put out a post about NDA and stuff like that, and then they named her in it because journalism, and then it freed her up to have some leeway, but also kind of put her in the lane of the lawsuit. So it just came out that way. It wasn't her leading the charge and I'm going to go ahead like we initially thought. It was, hey, your name's out there and this is the stuff that's being told that you experienced. Here you go.
Yeah, because from what I got out of it, it was just her giving the timeline as to what actually happened without giving away too much.
Right. So I think there's still some embargo there.
Yeah, there's still a lot. It's still a lot of redacted information out there before I can even think about giving an opinion on it. For me, but we just need to see where this goes. If she comes completely out of the NDA, what more was going to come out from other sources? If there are other sources that are going to come out, I just don't feel comfortable giving out an opinion at this point because I don't feel versed enough in it to give a true opinion.
Decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do question though, what is the end game? Is she's in control of the bus, or is the bus out of control and she's just navigating, based off of what's available? Because if Vince is ousted,
she is Sandra Bullock in the movie Speed.
Yeah, like what do we want to have happen next, unless there is a whole nother level on the creative end, on the TKO end? Is there something more that's deeper? And I know it's going to be weird to say, that's deeper in a situation than Vincent Kennedy McMahon and John Laurinaitis? Because if there is, then okay, I get it. It's justice. If there isn't, what are we looking to accomplish out the situation? Because in my opinion, just like it happened in the past, it's going to magically disappear in conversation again, in my opinion.
Right.
I give it 4 or 5 months. The tide is going to turn. The focus is going to shift. Right name may be named in the Epstein file 80,000,001, or they may just go ahead and target some black person that, hey, we got Diddy was a baby, or might as well get this fool over here too. And then that'll just change the narrative. And then it goes to the wayside again, and then it comes back. And that's why I question about, what the end game is. But, that's what's happening, out in the wrestling world is the most craziest thing, other than something else, just changing gears. Now, we've talked about, was it 2 months ago, when I ended up just, taking advantage of a social media whim and going to SmackDown. Thank you again, Tick Picks and Alan Ohms. I'll give you a shout out on that, on helping me to be able to take my son to an event without, having to sacrifice my soul and all of my money to be able to go into it. But I did want to bring up what's happening at WrestleMania. And again, this is an opportunity. Tony Khan has the lane, but he's still not taking advantage of it. Mania tickets are not selling at all. At all. I mean, there's a lot of reports, coming out of WrestleOps earlier this week that, they're down $17,252 at the moment compared to last year. So that's 19.3% behind the pace of last year's ticket sales and, just overall excitement. Same venue, actually is a little bit more expensive, but, they're running behind the 8 ball. Now on, I got the information for a comparison for, hold on, sorry. It's the only thing talking about that on social media, pulling this stuff back up. I apologize for not having it on the screen, but, it's getting a little interesting. For WrestleMania Saturday, they're looking at 6,546 tickets that are available, as was reported 2 days ago. Combo tickets, which would be the Saturday and Sunday special, about 1,180. They're set up for 43,416 this year. And they've only done 35,690 in ticket sales. So there's a lot of openings that's happening. But then again, just to give even more texture, here's the average ticket price for the last few WrestleManias. WrestleMania 37, the average ticket price under Vince McMahon, $170. WrestleMania 38, average ticket price, $135. 39, average ticket price, $169. That's just inflation, okay, and maybe the main event. WrestleMania 40, average was $341. WrestleMania 41, the average was hitting at about $635. And, obviously with Vegas, you're going to have some $1,000 seats and stuff like that, but this is just factoring in, a stadium, the way back there seats, bringing down that cost. And there's so many of those way back there's. But, what's your thoughts overall on the pricing structure? Is this sustainable for them, or should they just stay the course and just let it be and see if society conforms?
They'll get their money regardless. I mean, you got a lot of folks right now. Vegas is down anyway, and you got a lot of folks who are trying to travel from out of the country into the United States because of various reasons. that we won't discuss on the show.
Right.
But it will probably level out on its own toward once it gets closer to that, because they'll probably drop prices on some of the tickets just to get them sellable. You'll probably have a lot of people who'll be doing a lot of last minute purchases. And then on top of that, if they do what they're starting to do here in Chicago for next week, they made the announcement that they're going to be blacking out watch parties.
Well, we're going to get there next. Don't go too deep yet. That was the next thing I was going to bring up.
So, with that happening, you can't go to your local bar and pay maybe $20 and have a minimum and be able to watch the pay-per-view from your local bar or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, it's gonna, if you build it, they will come, pretty much. And it's to the point where it's going to end. They'll probably get a lot of last minute purchases, like they do always. Not necessarily walk-ups, but they'll get some last minute purchases and packages, and people who like, well, yeah, my tax check just came in, and now I can start. Now maybe I can splurge it on, going to WrestleMania now. So, it's still some time and some reason to move. Plus the fact we still got the Elimination Chamber, and isn't there another pay-per-view between Elimination Chamber and so that people are wanting to see where matches are going to end up before they make their purchase.
Yeah, put a pin in that thought. Put a pin in before you go any further, because I do want to give you the counterpoint. Because I mentioned Tony Khan. So March 15th, AEW presents Revolution coming out of LA and the Crypto.com arena. They're set up for 10,137 seats. They've distributed 9,372 seats as of 2 days ago. The average ticket price is $34.83.
And this is for what now?
This is for AEW Revolution.
Revolution, okay.
So one of their biggest pay-per-views, they're averaging $34.83. So if you were Tony, good old TK, we see what's happening in Vegas. You've got the extra noise of Janelle Grant. What would you do to be able to capitalize and catapult your April, May, and June into the stratosphere? Thus, just pushing away. And also think about Royal Rumble in Saudi. So you also got, that in your back pocket as well. What would you do to push forward past, WWE? Because this could be the precipice of their quote unquote 83 weeks.
Well, would you do it? I'll answer your question with a question. Would you do it to set up for WrestleMania? Or would you wait and do it when they're going to be out of the country for about a good month and a half for the what is it? The Italy.
This is a Clash in Italy.
The Clash in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be away for a good while for that. They're gonna be in Germany. They're gonna be in Italy. They're gonna be in the UK. They're gonna be in a whole bunch of different places.
Yeah, but those places make good TV, and sad to say, they make better TV than the US in reference to crowd participation.
Right, but being that those television shows will be broadcast as they happen. Because remember, Netflix is going to show those shows on their time, not United States time.
Right.
So you're going to get those 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon shows
was the last time I had sandwich?
On Netflix. The way if you decide to watch it later, you will be able to watch it at 8:00, but it'll be everything will be spoiled for you all over social media by the time you get to.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do something then and make a move then, or you could try to put something together to try to build up for what could go toward challenging WrestleMania. But like as to your point earlier, you need to be thinking about next year and what you're going to do when WrestleMania goes to Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Because that's going to be your money. That's when
you got to start. You got to start the snowball.
Yeah.
That's why. Well, to answer your question, I would, to take a page out of Vincent Kennedy's book, I would take those large grapefruits and go hardcore to counter program WrestleMania, because that's what they're not expecting. They're expecting, still in their bubble, that we're going to put on, because we see it every single time. What I mean by the bubble, Trips comes out. Oh man, it's going to be epic. There's going to be surprises. It's going to change the face of wrestling and the WWE. We ain't seen that change. Got that going yet. Royal Rumble didn't deliver anything, but I'm happy Brie is back, but that's all we got, truthfully. And reference to something, and an upset surprise with AJ Styles, but other than that, nothing. So I would go hardcore and counter programming, but I would have to do it smart. You got MJF, so you need somebody that's a juggernaut to go up against MJF, that can talk, that can make the spectacle. If that's him and Kenny Omega, if it's done Hangman already, him and Mox, I guess. It has to be something big. He still has Sting in the back pocket for just star power, even though he's retired. So there's some things Tony can do, but I would keep it focused on recognizable, no disrespect to anybody else, main U.S. talent, or that we see, not talking about, Emi Sakura's and Rios that come over, and, folks like that people may not recognize. You need the ones that I know who that is. I would have Speedball Mike Bailey there, and, I would have, anybody else that we can get there. We'd have a death match if we have to, whatever you need to do. Because if the collective is on the bubble because of what the WWE is doing, the collective needs to be in my bubble for what AEW is doing to keep the ball rolling. However you work that out, that's what I would do if I was Tony Khan. Because like I said, if they do it right, the Monday after Raw, we got a problem. Because AEW in the same time frame is just one ham. Now they could build on that, and then they can, have a lot more leverage. And you ain't got to win every week. You ain't got to win every month, but you need to have enough consistency to say, hey, when y'all fly over next year for WrestleMania, just know the show that we're going to put on, we've already planted so many seeds. We're just going to water the flowers and just watch them bloom.
This is where KG needs to chime in talking about the Super Show.
Worlds collide. There it is. We'll give him his plug. I know he's out there, in Hot Pocket land watching.
This needs to be the true AEW, CMLL, New Japan,
Stardom.
Stardom. Well, Stardom will come with New Japan.
Yeah.
DDT with the connection to Konosuke Takeshita.
Mm-hmm.
Probably bring in like a Rev Pro or Progress or ICW from the UK. Whoever's not affiliated with WWE, the ID program.
Yep.
Yeah, you need to start working on getting that put together.
Agreed. Now, on the flip side, to be honest with you, just looking at how things are laying out right now, WWE is not decided. Because think about how often at this point by Royal Rumble, when we see the point, you pretty much see the lay of the land. I know we got pay-per-views and stuff that are happening in between that decide this or that. You know where everything is going. The writing is on the wall. You know who's going to, you can just, it's inevitable. But now, think about it. We're waiting until Monday to see what Liv Morgan picks. Now, I know that may sound like, well, why does that matter? What's the big thing about that? Why wouldn't we have the pick for Liv Morgan already? What are we gaining by dragging it? We talked about it last week. We're gaining which one is going to make the biggest splash in shock value. Should she go up against Jade and then take the belt off Jade, even because nobody expects it to happen, quote unquote, if they go one-on-one? But, it's a judgment day, so by hook, by crook, or a new member, there you go. Liv Morgan just beat Jade Cargill. Or does she go up against Valkyria, who she's pretty much going to beat because of the judgment day, and you just get it. Like, okay, it's not going to be a surprise. AJ is out. John Cena can't wrestle at it. Do you bring in Dwayne? Where's Kevin Owens? How close are we to having KO back? Do you position a Randy Orton to be able to become a champion again? Should Charlotte have a position to become a champion again? Do you put the belt on Lash Legend and Nia Jax? Do you put more NXT talent in? Do you do like they did last night with Kiana James in the upset to go into the chamber? They are grasping at straws, Sumo. They have no plan other than what was already announced. And they don't have Roman. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. Anybody in the chat? I know Will has talked about, give AJ a check. But think about it. Roman is not in position to draw money this year. Not anything against Roman. It's just a presentation. He is not, compared to last year, the guy. He is not in anything else but the stupid Vegas promo that I'm sick of. Back in the saddle, god dang, the saddle, get out the saddle, get on the street, back at the strip again. Where's the Godfather at? Can we get the Godfather out there at the Bunny Ranch? I'm just saying. Talk to me, Sumo. Let me know. What can they do?
Well, I said it when he won the Royal Rumble. I said we will not see Roman Reigns again until right before WrestleMania. And they've already announced that he was going to do have 5 appearances between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. 5. And I think all of them, I think like 3 of them are going to be on Raw. So we knew that coming in, that he wasn't going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
That CM Punk was going to have to sell his own match. That we know that it's going to be CM Punk and Roman Reigns. We just need to figure out who's going to be against Drew. And I'm willing to put my money on a triple threat. Drew, Cody, and Jacob.
Do you think that would sell more than Drew versus Nick Aldis? Because you saw the teaser. I think that would put butts in the seats, because now a GM is about to go for the match, which means also you could get Scrap Daddy over there at Raw involved as well, so he could have a match with the Vision.
But you're going to put that match in WrestleMania.
Well, I'm just throwing that the second one. The Division match, maybe not, but Aldis and Drew, I can see that. It's not like Nick Aldis is just random name GM. We talking about a pedigree, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. You take that suit off, then people.
How many people other than the people on this podcast, including our panel here over in the chat, know that he was NWA World Champion?
Well, if you position it right, you can, because look at what they did. Fatu is going off the hinges wanting to fight Drew. Cody wants to fight Drew. Aldis is like, look, you're getting out of hand because I told you what to do, and you over here, causing all this trouble. There's nothing to say that you can't have some stuff that comes out of Elimination Chamber that's just so annoying that Aldis is like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. You want to fight so bad, Cody? I'm going to give you somebody to fight. You fight Jacob Fatu in a street fight or something to that, a steel cage, Hell in a Cell, whatever. Y'all need to get this out of here because the two of y'all trying to fight one person is ridiculous. And if that match doesn't get settled, or you do a triple threat and Drew comes out of it. You know, you could do a triple threat before WrestleMania and Drew comes out of it and Aldis is sick of it because Drew did something shiesty. And, you know, you can work it out.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to do a match with Aldis, it's going to be maybe like a Backlash or something before WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not going to be Elimination Chamber.
Right.
It's not going to be WrestleMania. It'll be like that pay-per-view in between.
Well, correction. It could be WrestleMania night 1 because they're not main eventing Sunday. Roman's got Sunday on lock. So we talking Saturday. They got some leeway on you know, traditionally on a Saturday. Remember, didn't we have Undertaker's last match, the Buried Alive match on Saturday? We had the Firefly Funhouse match on Saturday. So, I mean, you know, there's some – Saturday is kind of like you got some liberties that you can do. But Sunday is the day. But, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just grasping at straws. I don't know. What can they do to put on other than making a couple phone calls and finally giving us some people? Or maybe on this stupid box, this gobbledygooker box that they got that they're showing, can we get somebody really that we want to come out of that box?
Who do you think it's going to be?
I keep seeing conflicting things about Jericho. I see Tony Khan saying, well, Chris can do it. You know, we appreciate what Chris has done. Sounded like he's future endeavored. Go ahead and separate it. Then there's reports saying that he's under another contract. So best case scenario, it's Jericho. I've also just seen that it could be Danhausen, which I got no problem with Danhausen.
No, I wouldn't have a problem with Danhausen, especially with the way that Mr. Iguana got over. So, I mean, it's pretty much in the same lane, and you haven't seen Danhausen in a long time unless you're keeping up with him on YouTube and his socials. Yeah. So, yeah, for it to be Danhausen, I can kind of see it. I hope it's not Jericho. And not to say that I don't want Jericho in WWE. I just don't want him coming back in that box because, you know, as Dusty always says, anytime you have a box, they're automatically going to be over.
Right.
You need somebody that's going to be over, that's going to need to be over that with that type of gimmick that needs to push.
Is there a female that can come back that could be in that box? Well, before you answer that, I want you to read the comment because I see a hand coming from across the aisle. Is it one of them, you know, the Mega Powers? Is it the Mega Powers, Sumo? You going to go ahead and grab the hand? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get it? Go ahead and read the comment.
You know, we are like-minded on a few things, I'm sure.
Okay.
So, you know, yeah. They wouldn't be in the position they're in if they didn't have some kind of sense about things. So, yeah.
Well, go ahead and read the comment.
I acknowledge your acknowledgement.
There you go. See, you don't even read it.
I did read it. I read it before you even put it up.
We got to read out to the masses. What about the people?
Because we were in the middle of a conversation, sir.
What about the folks that listen to us on Apple Podcasts and stuff like that in the audio world? They don't see it, even though you go ahead and watch the replay on YouTube, Facebook, Twitters, and all that other stuff. But, you know, I'll read it just because you're a mark. Sumo Right to the WrestleMania fan base. Nick ain't big enough, a big enough name for a Mania match. See, there you go. And they also agreed that, you know, Danhausen would be funny, but, you know, he does have time to his contract, added to his contract due to the injury, I'm quite sure. But you never know. But let me ask you this. In this strange, wonderful world of what ifs, could the person in that box And this is like a super what if. Fan booking, in a perfect world, could the person in the box be Bryan Danielson?
And it looks like you have like war paint.
Not to wrestle.
Like what's right here?
But just returning home to go into the Hall of Fame. Because we haven't even talked about the daggone Hall of Fame yet. Other than 9 out of 10, the headliner, Cena. Would you be cool with that? If we got DB back?
I would be cool with that. I mean, we got his wife. Why not bring him back?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's the first power couple of the modern era that's in 2 places. The only one that they can, I think they're the only ones, right, that are getting checks from both major promotions going into the same household. So that's a history book accolade right there. The only one before them, but it's not at that the status level was that I could think of was Adam Cole and Britt Baker. When they were dating, they were living together. So technically that's the same household. Common law.
Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona, but
he
Cardona was all over the place. But but still, he wasn't really under contract with anybody, but he was making money off of other organizations.
Well, I say, Hollywood T obviously doesn't like my fictional fan booking of hopefulness. So I guess the agreement is over. The truce is over. It's done. But he did mention, Andrade and Flair. It's close, but, Andrade just is not on the same name level. But technically, yeah.
I don't know now.
Together,
Andrade is doing big things right now. Andrade is in title contention in AEW. He could be in title contention in New Japan.
Yeah, I expect that truthfully before AEW.
He's a champion in Mexico and, if I'm not mistaken, in the Caribbean. So yeah, I mean he's doing his thing now.
Could be a possibility. But it'll be interesting. I just hope it's not another Triple H disappointment. And no disrespect to Triple H, but Hunter, you promised the world, and the best we've got out of it thus far is Brie. Nothing major, Royal Rumble, nothing major happened. I mean, you need something. If you would like to employ us, so that way we can go ahead and give you some more great ideas that we actually get paid for, let us know. There's our shameless plug right there. Because you still owe us for the 24/7 championship and the Thunderdome. But who are we to complain? We just casually just remind the world that we sent those ideas and magically they happen without the tagline credit. But we'll blame something else. Now, the last thing I want to touch on, because we want to keep the people at the water cooler happy and give them something to talk about. You kind of started walking into it, but it's a bigger thing that is happening, because at first it was okay. I get the Vegas thing if y'all just trying to put the screws to everybody, so they have to do go to the show. They have to sell the tickets. They have to buy. They have to show up at the stadium to be able to watch WrestleMania. So nowhere else within immediate radius of that area, which pretty much kills the Mandalay Bay, New York. The Caesars, I think, is right there, right around the corner. There's a couple more.
I would say they would probably do like a 50-mile radius. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that's what it is 50 mile. But there's a lot of the major part of the strip, major hotels.
It'll be all of the strip. It'll be all of this major part of the strip.
Pretty much all of it, other than before you get to the Fremont, down at the end. You can't watch or stream in a public venue WrestleMania either night. Now they just announced that the same thing is happening in Chicago for Elimination Chamber. What they're trying to push towards is for people to go to the movie theaters because they can control it and go to the theaters to watch. So you got Get ESPN, so ESPN get their money's worth. Finally, go to the theater, or be in Vegas, or whatever the pay-per-view premium live event, whatever you want to call it.
What's that new place that they've been pushing?
That stupid
with the real big screen.
Yeah, want to be the Sphere. I don't even give it the time of day, because if you're going to do something like that, why would it be with the dumbest angle possible? Even the Royal Rumble angle. Why would you put the camera there to have the dumbest angle possible? If you're going to go all in and give somebody experience, do like we did at the Zone. The screen is big enough, have 4 angles. Cut the screen into 4 components. That way you're looking at a 24-foot screen or whatever in each quadrant. There you go. But the one dumb angle in the corner turnbuckle, so half of if the match goes over to the other side, you don't see anything. I done pay for premium for what? To see one corner, the bottom right-hand corner that got that on screen? It's dumb.
And then what's that bar? Tom's Watch Bar? Do they have a sponsorship with them?
So, I mean, what is this the right thing to do, or are they just shooting themselves even more in the foot? I get the thing about ESPN trying to get the money to ESPN from the TKO standpoint. I get it. You got to find a way, but is this the way, or is it just better booking?
No, I mean they just trying to get all the money they can. You know, I mean, it's liable to put butts in seats, but it's going to be a hard sell because, like I said earlier, I paid what? What'd you say the average ticket was for Vegas?
$635, right around there.
$635 for the average ticket to go to Vegas, or paying $50 and maybe a bar tab.
Yeah.
To watch it with a bunch of friends of yours. You buy out a whole table and buy rounds and all that whatnot.
Shoot, I used to watch it. There was a bar in South Carolina that was really cool. At one point, Hooters did it because we worked that out. It wasn't a nationwide thing. It was just we worked it out with the owner and we did it. Then it rolled over to a pool bar, which I watched many a pay-per-view there. Man, it was awesome. Like you said, maybe about $30. Watch the whole pay-per-view. You got the whole arena experience. But again, I think they're in crisis mode. And somebody's got to dig them out. Now, the person who I think creatively could dig them out, I don't know if they want to commit to that, but we saw what happened. The proof's in the pudding for SmackDown is Paul Heyman. But I don't know if they want to, dip that toe in, or Paul wants to dip his toe back into creative at that level. But we know that mind could do it. But then they would have to be okay with committing to, this is what I want to do with these NXT talent that Paul's going to say, hey, let's make this happen. And then the shakeup for Raw, the shakeup for SmackDown as well. That's the only viable thing. Otherwise, I hope Tony Khan is at least watching, so that way he can get his 83 weeks in by starting to counter program aggressively. Somebody's got to win. Or, last question of the day, I guess, because it just came to me. What does this put TNA? How can they capitalize off of both of these situations between, both promotions, WWE and AEW, from the major standpoint?
Well, TNA sounds like, to me, they're looking to get sold.
You think?
Yeah, because now, from what I have read, right now, West Side Gun has put in an offer to buy TNA. And he's talking about he wants to bring the culture to TNA. So I don't know if you've actually watched a show from Fourth Row. If you have not,
Excuse me.
There is a show that they just put up on YouTube.
Okay.
It's a show from October. Okay, and I just watched that show, and it was a very good show. It was a very good show. I mean, you had the Hardys defending against the Good Brothers and the Infantry in the three-way. You had AJ Francis in there in a decent match with I forget the name of that guy, but he's one of their regulars. Zilla Fatu had a title match for the Fourth Rope Championship against his cousin Journey Fatu. You had a four-way match for the women to crown their first women's champion, and then they had pretty much of a concert at the end of it with Bun B from UGK and a few others that were there. MVP was there. You know, MVP is the commissioner.
Yep.
The former Enzo Amore, real one, defended his title during that pay-per-view.
I'd be cool if he was in the box.
Now, and so
for the record,
which is a possibility. I've read that is a possibility. So, but yeah, there's a lot. If you have not watched a Fourth Rope show, I would suggest you watch that one. And like I said, he just put it up like within the last week or so, and it'll be a good show for you to watch if you have not watched one yet. So I would suggest doing that. But yes, West Side Gun is looking to buy out TNA, especially after what happened with him getting kicked out of a pay-per-view for WWE.
Yep.
Not too long ago. You know, so but
he would have to make nice because WWE and TNA, WWE got them to their television deal. So if he did buy him, he's gonna have to eat some crow. He can't be showing up there with a beef. Now that you got some TV time, because I'm quite sure there's some concessions.
Well, he may be willing to separate from that deal.
Possibly, yeah, that could happen too.
He may be willing to do that. So I mean, who knows? I mean, they like Hollywood is saying, they've already benefited a lot from their relationship with WWE, and their production has gotten better. They've gotten some folks in there from that have left WWE that came into TNA that they wound up signing. So I mean, it's possible that he could, and plus with some of the folks that he's bringing in from his own group, that would just be adding fuel to that fire. Especially that four-way with the women. Oh my goodness!
Do you think
Tiara James and Nikki Blackheart?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say about that. Lord have mercy.
Heck yeah, meet me in between the holidays. That's what you're saying. So, do you think that TNA has the star power and the capability to quickly rise like AEW did? AEW also had the pandemic. So I think that benefited them because of Daly's place, and they were able to just keep that vibe at such a close quarters, and they already had locked in on let everybody employee-wise just be themselves and be fans. WWE, they had to kind of push that and get them to, make it look like something when they started doing people, around the ring. But can they do it?
But TNA pretty much did the same thing. They had people who they would bring in from the local wrestling schools, or people who they just brought in and told them, hey, we got a show, come on in and just be in the group, be in the crowd.
Yeah.
So I mean, they pretty much did the same thing.
And to this point, AEW does have a billionaire behind them, but if you talk to Eric Bischoff, he'd be the first person to tell you, doesn't matter how much money you have, the network will snatch your stuff out of nowhere if the viewership isn't there. Just take a look at the talk show shakeup that we got going on right now with Sherry Shepherd being canceled and, others, being canceled. Was it Kelly Clarkson, I think, has been canceled, all this stuff that's going on. If it ain't there, they will cut you quick and put somebody else. So I want there to be a third. If they're not going to push NXT as a third, and I think it's good enough to be, but they're still kind of keeping it at a distance, then I'm hoping that TNA can be there. So that way we have two promotions that are promoting to give KG his Worlds Collide, two promotions at next year's WrestleMania period that can be, helping towards a mega show that everybody will want to go on U.S. soil. So we'll see how it plays out, down the road. Normally, as we get ready to walk out the door here and say our lines and let you off the mothership, normally we would do these things traditionally with the sideline junkies, the in memoriams and stuff like that at the beginning of the show. But with this being Black History Month and our last show that's not a react show in Black History Month, I wanted to take the time to just do two things. The first thing, because I don't think we have publicly said it yet, but, thank you, Big E, for everything that you did. And you're still doing, but, you made it happen and put a lot of joy in people's hearts and made some great TV and some great memories throughout the course of, what I've seen you do from, developmental up into the main roster. Even I enjoy watching you on the wrap-up show after the premium live events. But, man, not happy that your career is over. I was still keeping hope alive, thinking maybe. But, if you had to put the boots in the center of the proverbial ring, then respect to Big E. You have any thoughts on Big E before I go to the last one, Sumo?
Well, all I want to say is hopefully there'll be a big ending when Obafemi retires Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Hopefully there'll be a big ending, a spear, and a boom drop.
There you go.
Before he pins Brock Lesnar for the 1, 2, 3.
I'm with that.
And that's not just a prediction. That's a spoiler.
I love it. And then the last one is a lot more, across everything. And that is, rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. Pioneer of, everything that revolves around, I guess if we take the group, the push towards equality for all these years past Dr. King up until, an era that we're closer and closer to the dream, quote unquote. We've still got some challenges, but, he was a voice even into, what we have now and the presidential structure, everything that's going on. He got to see and be right along in the White House with the first African-American president ever. So from folks that have walked that walk at that level to be able to just be there and see some of that dream happen. It's just, it's going to be interesting. Think of how many years we just, talked about Jesse. Good or bad, indifferent, the jokes out there, living colors, all the fun stuff. But, Jesse has just, been really the last one. And now it's, no disrespect to Roland Martins and, other folks like that. But, you would truthfully in my head, we're talking Martin, Malcolm, Jesse. In my head, for the big three that has really, just moved the needle and been out there, for the Black community and just, just going through. So I just definitely wanted to put out here, like I said, in Black History Month, rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. Sumo, any thoughts on Jesse?
Being a graduate of North Carolina Central University, I usually don't give props to Aggies. But in this case, I guess I have no choice but to acknowledge the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who decided to come onto my college campus in 1989 and disrespect my campus and my dormitory by calling us Chitlin Hall, which was not explicit, which is the name of it is Chidley Hall. But you know, being that we have that rapport, we have that spirit between the two of us because we can't stand each other. We can't stand each other. This is like Carolina and Duke, and you know, Ohio State and Michigan. You know, you got with that rivalry. But Jesse does have his place. Reverend Jackson does have his place in the chronicles of civil rights and in history in itself. So rest in peace, rest in power to Reverend Jackson. And thank you for all your contributions to our country and our civil rights.
That's right. So, you know how we always do it. Next week will be a react show, obviously, to the EC. So hopefully it's good. I'm quite sure we'll see very soon from a message from Triple H saying it's going to be epic and, you know, change the face of the game and the landscape of WrestleMania. So just be prepared for that one. But hopefully it lives up to it. We'll see what happens. And get well soon, Bianca Belair. Still pissed, though, that you just had finger surgery. You've been out for long enough to have a baby. Just saying. You had your chance. Now you need to come back and you get back on this WrestleMania main event. But you had your chance. Montez, I blame you. You weren't putting in that work. We ain't seen you either. God dang, you should have been doing 3 days. But just putting it out there. So, so look forward to seeing us next week after the Elimination Chamber. And then we'll have some more fun. So, as always, you know, my message to you is to diversify your bonds.
Konnichiwa, bitches.